Hello, beautiful people. April Mac here, going live. I'm super excited to be coming to you live today to talk about my challenge that starts today. It starts right now. It's called the Go Live in 5 challenge, which basically is for anyone who really wants to go for their first live in 5 days from now, or if you're someone who already does lives, I want you to up level your lives in the next 5 days. So I'm going to wait for a minute or two to see who's going to join. Hi to anyone joining. And please do leave comments as we go, because it's always much better if it's interactive and you've got questions, please ask them. We'll be on for, I don't know, maybe 20 to 25 minutes today, roughly. I've got to go pick up kids, so I've got to make sure I don't forget to do that. So I've got an alarm set, and yeah, so if you're there, say hi, leave a comment so I know you're there, and if you're watching on a replay, hashtag replay. So this will be left up on my page, so if you can't make any of the lives over the next 5 days, then do watch the replay. And it would be great if you're going to do this, if you follow along. Hey, gorgeous. If you follow along and do the steps that I'm suggesting, do them each day with me so that by the 5th day, you can go live. And if it's your first time going live, then hopefully there'll be a few people that you meet along here online that can support you. And if you're not ready to go live on your page by day 5, don't worry. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do this. You're going to learn stuff if you do this regardless of whether you go live on day 5, but I really hope that you will. And also, just so you know, I have got a course that's coming up that actually starts on Friday. So if you want to get involved in that, then that's another safe group where you can practice your lives. So I'll tell you more about that at the end. Hey, beautiful people joining. Okay, so let's go. Today is all about finding your nook. So I'll tell you more about that. But before I go into the content for today, I just want to give you a quick overview of what we're going to cover over the next 5 days in this free challenge. So today's going to be finding your nook, which is all about creating a background that fits with who you are, what you're here to say, fits with your brand, and really feels good for you. So that's today. Tomorrow we're going to talk about choosing your look. And that is all around, how do you want you to come across in terms of what you wear, whether you're going to have your hair done in a particular way, makeup, anything like that. If you're not someone who wears makeup normally, then I would say don't wear makeup when you do your lives. But if you are someone who does, then, you'd consider that. So we'll go all into the details of just making sure the look that you go for when you're online doing your lives feels good for you and feels on brand. Really want you to make sure that you're not going for something that doesn't feel aligned with you. So we'll talk all about that. Day 3, we're going to choose the topic that you're going to go live on. So it might be something that you're launching, a sales plan or something like that, or it might just be something you're here to share. And a lot of people say to me, I never know what to go live about. So we're going to talk about that on day 3, and we're going to come up with some awesome content ideas. On day 4, which is on Thursday, we're going to create your plan so that you feel really ready to do your best live yet on day 5. And like I said to those, if anyone's come in late, if you're not ready to go live on day 5, don't worry. I'm not going to pressure you and say, well, you failed the challenge. It's not like that. This is really about helping you get some momentum, get a few more skills and thoughts under your belt about how you can tweak things. If you're already someone who goes live, but you want to just, take it up a level, then this is for you. And if you're someone who's never done one, this is also for you, because I'm going to give you lots of tips to help you along the way. So that's a bit of an overview. I'm just going to check if there's any comments. Also, please let me know if you've got any questions along the way. I may not answer them right away. I'll try and answer them here on the live, and if I don't, I'll come back after I've picked up the kids from school and get back to you. So, Jane is asking, are you using your phone and tripod or computer? For my lives, I always use my phone and a tripod. It's easier with Facebook. The application is much easier, I find, on the phone, and I can see the comments. And then if I can't see the comments, I can always have my laptop handy. And with the tripod, it just means I'm more mobile. I can go wherever I want and adjust it to the height, and it's just so much better. So I will talk to you a little bit about tripods today, but also we cover that in more detail in the course. That if any of you are interested in, I'll give you more details about that at the end, or you can just go to my page. Okay, holy shit, I was thinking about the live space. Not sure what you mean, my love. Karen, you might need to give me more details. Okay, so let's get started. In today's content's all about finding your nook. So what do I mean by nook? I mean just finding a space where you feel comfortable and the background gives your viewers something to look at other than a blank white wall, and other than something like you're washing in the background. And it's something that feels good for you and that represents your brand. So as you know, many of you know, this is my nook. My favorite nook is this one because I've got this beautiful chair where I feel like a complete goddess, because I am, and all of you are too. And I can get really comfortable here, and I feel like, I've got my lighting, I've got my tripod here. There's a little bit of a window there that, you might be able to see a little bit of the faded trees out in the background. I can change this here, but I've got my beautiful yellow roses that a friend gave to me. And I have all my little trinkets here that make me feel at home and cozy. And hopefully when you're looking at me, you don't get totally bored because you see my face, but you can also look around and see what's behind me. And it just gives you a feeling. So that's what you want to create with your nook, is a feeling for yourself to feel really, really comfortable, but also a feeling for the people watching you so that they get, that there's more to you than just you in front of a blank wall. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Pretty backgrounds are important, says Janie. That's right. And I'm just saying, a few people are saying hello. So I'm going to take you on a little tour around my house. I won't show you my messy house, but I'll show you some of the nooks, because I think it's really also important not just to have one. If you're someone who needs to be going live fairly regularly on your page, it's nice to have a few different locations, especially if you've got playlists and videos on your Facebook page and you want people to be able to see at a glance, oh, I want that one, I want that one. If they all look the same, if it's all of them are you up here like this with the same background, then people can't differentiate, and they might think, oh, that's the live I saw the other day, when it's a new one. So if they've got different backgrounds and you're wearing different clothes in them, then people are going to get to, say, oh, look, I haven't seen that video yet, I'm going to go watch that one. So it's really important to have not just the same one. Now let me just quickly check my notes here, because I can easily go off track, for many of you who know, because I've always got so much to say. Let's see. The other thing I did want to mention is the importance. I know if you're watching, you know it's important to go live, right? Because you wouldn't be watching me otherwise. But I want to just really make that point that for me, going live has totally transformed my business. It's basically meant that people who've never met me, who don't know me from a bar of soap, who haven't even had a single conversation with me, are buying my stuff, because videos allow you to build trust really, really quickly. And they also enable, people to like you or hate you. If they hate you, they're going to go away and you don't want to work with them anyway. But if you do your videos in a way where you're really coming across as your truest self and being true to who you are, then you're going to attract the right people. So you guys here watching me, if you're still watching now, then you must like me to some extent and want to work with me in some way, shape or form, whether it's my free stuff on here or buying my services. And you only know that about me. Some of you have met me, but some of you haven't. And I've had clients now coming from overseas, and the reason that happens, they've never met me, is because I've got videos, and I can point them to videos that are on my page about different content. So I would say, even if nobody's watching your lives, don't worry. We'll talk about that again if you want to go into the next level of depth with this, we'll talk about that in the course. But I go live even when no one's watching, and there are times when nobody watches. So I've got a good following here today, but sometimes there'll be nobody, and that's totally fine because I know people come back and watch it later. And it also means that when I am famous, which of course I hope to be and will be, then people will have content to consume because I've put it out there. If I don't create the videos, then there's nobody can find them, right? Make sense? Okay, so let's get into more about the Nook because that's what we're here to talk about. I'm going a little bit quicker than I ordinarily would because I've got school pickup and I'm just trying to look. Can somebody please tell me when it's 2:25 because that's when I need to hop off and go and get the kids. So backgrounds matter. We've already talked about that. Also think about how the background reflects your brand. So if at all possible, if you can use a background that's got the colors of your brand or just the general feel of your brand, that would be really awesome. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly, and I want to make the point, don't let any of what I say in the next 5 days put you off. If you say, well, I can't go live because I didn't have the thing that April mentioned on day one, or I haven't got the tripod, or I haven't got the lighting right, that's an excuse. These are all the nice to haves that you build up over time and that you work towards. But I'm assuming that all of you have got a home and you've got a couch and you've probably got a painting or some pictures, or you can go and buy some flowers. So you can easily create your Nook by Friday if you haven't got one already. Okay, so the background creates interest as well. We talked about that. It allows the viewer's eyes to wander away from your face because they're not going to want to look at your face the entire time because, you know, I know our faces are interesting, but sometimes that eye just likes to wander. And we talked about as well about the Nook being somewhere where you feel comfortable and confident. The next thing I really want to mention, and it's such an important thing, is lighting. Now, hopefully you can see my whole face and you're getting a good view of my beautiful face. If I've got a light here, I'll just show it to you. Mine is a big umbrella light, but you don't have to have that. You can just have, like, I sometimes use just a little tripod-y light that I got from Kmart or somewhere like that. I took the lampshade off it and I just use that. So I carry that around, put it next to me if I need to. And also you can just use natural light. So sit where the lighting in the room is the best. You know, turn around until you get the right lighting on your face. Really important, because if you're a bit shady looking, that's what people will think. Oh, she's a bit shady. Not going to trust her. So really make sure your lighting shows all of you as much as possible. Now, sorry, I've just got an itchy nose. Just got to itch that. Sorry. These weird things that I do in my lives. You don't have to itch your nose, hopefully. Tripod. Tripod is really important. And for those of you who don't have one yet, I highly recommend going and getting one. I can leave some links, but you can look online. There'll be heaps of tripods online. Mine's an expensive one that, you know, my ex-husband bought years ago and I never really used until I started doing this. And it's adjustable. It's really important that it's adjustable and that you can put it at all different heights, and that once you get used to using it, you'll never do without it. Because if I'm holding the phone on with my arm out here and moving it around and shaking it around, it's so distracting for the viewers. It's okay if you're going to do that for like a 2 or 3 minute live max, but beyond that, I really highly recommend having a tripod. It's going to let you be more comfortable. It lets you use your hands. I've got my notebook here. I've got my hands free so I can talk and I can really express myself. And if I had to be holding my arm out like that, I'm going to get tired and it's going to go up and down and people are just going to think, what is she doing? You know, it's not professional overall. So if you don't have one yet, don't panic, because still by this Friday, you can prop your phone up. There's ways you can prop it up and it will work just fine. But definitely down the track, please invest in a tripod. It will, you know, be a wonderful investment for you if you're going to do. And people are putting up some beautiful messages there about where to get them. So even Kmart has them. Really good. So there's no excuse not to have one. Go out and get one today. Ready for Friday, okay? The distance from the camera. I see people with the camera here, right up close in all of their lives, or you know, way back there. That's too far. Nice, you know, get your whole head in if you can, and you know, nice and straight on, and it's not, you know, below my bra, you know. And I've actually got tracksuit pants and Ugg boots on, but you can't see that, can you? So that's perfect. But nice and close, you know, like an intimate conversation. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes here to see if there's anything else I missed. What I'm going to do is go have a quick walk around my house and go to my other nooks to show you a couple of, you know, just to give you some ideas for yourself. And then what I want you to do today is go around your house and find a new nook that you haven't used before, set it up, and see if you can do a live there later this week once you've gone through this process. You can do it before then, but if you want to do it, you know, let's find somewhere new that you haven't used before. Now, one thing I do want to say as well, just occurred to me, that to think about your lives as a conversation rather than a performance. That piece of advice totally changed the game for me. I got that from Carly Marie. As many of you know, she's my coach and I adore her, and I know a lot of you follow her. But once she said that, it suddenly gave me permission to do it quite differently. So as you know, before, I was scratching my nose, I talk about what I'm doing just like I would if you guys were here right now. I would be chatting to you, and it is more of a conversation. So if you know, because once you remove the idea that it's a performance, if you think it's a performance, then you'll put on this whole persona of, and you know, like as Janie and I have talked before about, it's like your phone voice, you know, you put on your phone voice. Don't do that, because it puts a layer up between you and the people. Try as hard as you can, and that's what takes practice, to just be you and just have a chat. And that's why when we go on day 3, I think it is, where we're going to choose a topic, day 3 or 4, choose a topic that's really on your heart, that you feel connected with, that you could just talk about at ease, and then it will come through as the real you. Then you won't be having that facade. That's a really good way to do it. Now, let's go for a little quick walk. I know, isn't that gold, Tracy? I saw your comment there. Okay, let's see if I can walk and talk at the same time. Oh, you might get a bit wobbly. See, this is what I don't want you to do. Normally, I wouldn't do a live and be walking around, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to close that door. So I just want to show you some other areas in my house that I could use. For example, this little area here, that's the painting my beautiful man did recently. And I just thought that I haven't used this background, but have a look. But not the best lighting on my face, so I probably would need to have some lighting as well. But yeah, probably would need a little bit of a light next to me, but it's pretty nice, isn't it? So you kind of see a little bit of the outside, but not too much. And it just creates a bit of interest in the background there, right? Okay, next little nook. Now, I don't have a very glamorous house at all, guys, but what I want to show you is that you don't have to. And I used to think that you did. I used to think, oh God, you know, I need to be a millionaire before I can do all this. You don't, you know. Here's a couch, a nice couch with some nice cushions. Now, I'm holding this. I would obviously put it on a tripod and I'd have some lighting, but I'm just trying to show you how, I'm sitting on the floor here. So now you'll get to see my, you know, I don't know if you can see. No, you can't really. I'm sitting on the floor. I can rest my hand here like that and really have a chat. You know, I can get right into this, you know, imagining that you guys are just here with me and I'm having a bit of a chat, and I get really comfortable, and it makes a difference to how I present because I've got my arm resting. I'd have you on a tripod, and you know, I can rest my head here like this and just chat to you. It's really nice. I love sitting on the floor, but don't do that. Don't sit on the floor if that's uncomfortable for you. And if you wouldn't do it and it doesn't suit your brand, then I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, let's go to another place and I'll check the time while I'm here. Okay, here's another one. This is another beautiful picture of that my man did. Not so, the lighting's not great, so I'd have to get better lighting. But, you know, bottom of that picture, maybe I'd get a little bit of that cupboard in. So a bit of interest there. You know, I could even have it if there was, you know, that's another one there. So you can actually create in one space. I forgot to show you in my office. I've got about 3 different backgrounds in my office just by turning the camera. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's not bad, but you know, obviously I would have lighting. I'd need lighting. And here's the kitty cat. Hi, kitty cat. So anyway, now I can see I'm getting a bit shaky now. See, that's how you get shaky when you hold it, don't you? So the other thing I want to just mention quickly is this is all landscape. Have your phone landscape. If you've got an iPhone, you'll need to make sure it's landscape before you go live. And if you have a Samsung, it doesn't matter because Samsungs are superior in my opinion. I've obviously got one. Samsungs will you can twist it midway through, it doesn't matter. But landscape's better. It's going to make your face look more natural. And also you won't get those dark lines either side if you do portrait. So hopefully that all has been useful. Go find your nook today, beautiful people. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about choosing your look. So Janie, I hope that you'll be able to make tomorrow's live. I haven't set the time yet, so I'll let you know, because Janie is the expert on clothing and getting your look right. She's, you know, and when I say this, I just want to make sure you don't think that I'm going to tell you what you have to wear and how you have to get dressed up for lives. If you are a gym junkie and part of your brand is about going to the gym and, you know, being super fit, you would be perfectly placed to be in your gym gear without makeup on, just having done a workout. You know, like, so it's got to suit what your brand is. So, yeah, so we'll talk about all of that tomorrow. What does that say? I don't necessarily. I've missed some of the comments, but I'm going to have to go. So I'll come back to your beautiful comments afterwards. And my hand is so shaky. I don't know how people do this. All right, so hopefully that's given you some ideas for your nooks. And if you've got photos of your nook, please put them in the comments here. I'd love to see your nook. That sounds rude. All right, take care, loves. See you later. I'm finding it hard to turn it off. This is because I'm normally not holding.